If we can do whatever photos with the family would be great.
I'll do that in here.
Careful.
Happy to sit?
Yeah, I think Mum should be the centre of attention, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Comfy chair. Get comfy.
That's awesome.
Very low for me.
She's the boss. Oh, she's the matriarch. She's the one that gave up her life and sort of moved to the other side of the world. And you throw yourself back. This is 1979. It's in the middle of the Cold War. This is when, KGB and, who's going to press the button and what will happen. For her to move to the other side of the world, for her family, and give me the opportunity to be here. I love her to death. She's been on her own without her life partner for just over 10 years now. Basketball means a lot to her. She goes to every game with her little posse. I love the fact that she's passionate about life. You won't meet a more up and about 89-year-old, and basketball is the appointment setting. If you went to her place, you'd see in her physical diary there every game, and scheduled, make sure that she's there, and if I'm there, great. If not, doesn't matter, she'll be there anyway.
I'm going to just pop that there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Put your hand on top.
Now what I'd love is, can we get one
With Father.
with Dad here? That way we can see when.
Hold it like this.
Maybe just even more comfortably, so it's not to the front. Maybe just to the side.
Yeah.
Maybe like this. Just put it here, like this. That's it.
Yeah.
In Odessa, we're from Odessa. Larry, he was excellent student. I brought his results when we was going from Russia, all excellent. But not much in the sport. He was more quiet boy. He got a lot of friends, and teacher loved him very much.
Might just get you to have a seat if that's all right.
Yep.
On your desk.
I came here as a 12-year-old. I didn't speak the language, and it wasn't an easy time. So I remember it being pretty hard. I started working pretty quickly. I worked at the Victoria markets and Saturdays and Sundays, and unpack suitcases and luggage and whatever else. So yeah, the first years were pretty hard.
In my family, everybody was professional. We didn't know what does it mean business, because in Russia, business, it was, if somebody have business, it was dangerous that they can go to the prison, because everything's supposed to be government. But here, when we arrived, we start to understand more about that.
Yeah, just make sure the NBL.
Yeah, the NBL.
We don't want crooked badge.
We don't want crooked badge.
I got into business pretty early. I started doing things in my early 20s, and then really my last job was in my late 20s. So at that point I decided I'm going to go out on my own and do things my own way. It started actually with property. I got into property first, but I quickly realized being a property developer in Melbourne, especially when you're starting out, is not a lot of fun. I preferred to be in an office environment around young individuals and helping them build and grow myself. So I realized that I want to be more in a business outside of property and be in an office overlooking Albert Park Lake. And here we are. That's really was my ambition, and I wanted to look for a business that would allow me to do that. And at that point, internet was sort of very early days, so you think back 2000, and that's what I chose. It could have been, quite frankly, anything, but I chose internet. I really believed in its future success and started an internet company in 2000 and named it a crazy name like Dodo, and the rest is history.
Scotty McGregor either put us out of our misery. That is all from Melbourne Park. And the Melbourne Tigers have prevailed here in emphatic fashion.
Melbourne Tigers' story actually goes back to family, and starting with my cousin. So my cousin was a member already, and he kept on inviting me to come to the games and come have a look, and I was honestly too busy. I had a newborn son, and finally when my son was about 7, I think, or thereabouts, we went to our first Melbourne Tigers game, and it was like a bit of an awakening to me. I knew basketball, but I never really took much interest, but I was blown away by the product of family entertainment. We thought, you know what, this could be a good product for us to actually get Dodo involved in. And then we started sponsoring as a business. We started sponsoring the club and got even closer to it.
The contact and the score, Chris Anstey.
We got involved a little bit more as time went on. The club always needed some help. We'd always need more financial support. So we were around, but we watched it degrade from a professionalism point of view. Off the court, we could see that things were going backwards. And then finally, one day, putting the club into administration. And that's where it all quickly came to a head, and I shared that news with the family. And that didn't go too well. It's, especially with my mum, who very quickly asked me if I thought I could fix it. And she said, well, you're a business guy, you do business, surely you can fix this.
And I thought, it's Australia. People love sport, people love all this, and they're going down. Do something. You have good head.
If I could honestly turn to her and say, Mum, I actually don't think I can. It's not my skill set, I don't think it can be done, or I don't think I can do it, I'm not the right person to do it, I would have been comfortable to walk away. But as soon as she asked me if I could do it, and I go, yeah, I think I can, and she says, then you have to do it.
We have a couple of, exciting news on the Melbourne Tigers front. And for those of you that don't know us, I'm Larry Kestelman, this is my partner, Michael Slepoy, and we've over the last few months taken over the running of the Melbourne Tigers Basketball Club.
My husband would be very proud because he loves these tigers. This business that gives you pleasure, not only money, but to put tigers back in the business, it was really good. I believe in Larry.
He doesn't have numbers. Euro step and a sweet dish.
By that stage, I understood the club world a bit better, the league world a little better. And fast forward to that point, so 10 years ago, so my son is 20, the league is on its knees, all sponsors are gone, no broadcast. So it was a pretty daunting moment, not knowing what will happen with it. So I had the conversation again with the family, and at that point, with Mum, the same question, well, can you do it? Do you think you can actually fix this? And I had the same conversation, I think I can. And she goes, well, if you think you can, then you absolutely must. You cannot let it fail. I mean, the same thing, what's going to happen to the club? She quite frankly cared more about the club. I turned to my son and used the same little bit of guilt, I said, well, if I'm going to do this, are you interested in sort of joining and helping me? And he was studying business and marketing, and then he came and started helping on the marketing side, and he was sort of the first marketing manager in the business.
Perfect.
Right. Do you want to come in actually, Mum? We'll just do one full length. Just come in here for 1 sec, yeah. The first few years were rough, I won't lie. They were rough. I just remember first a little bit going around apologizing for the past, and the other thing I remember is just walking around telling everyone to trust me and selling the vision that it can be great and to get behind it, and a lot of people did.
When I look at the overall success of the NBL, I think without success of clubs, we cannot all succeed together. There's obviously the component that we have done as a league and set the scene for where the future of success looks like. The clubs themselves have had to do the same. I think the evolution has been nothing short of incredible. The owners are now professional business people. They treat their sports clubs as businesses and give them the respect that they deserve. And I'm very proud of who we have as an ownership group around the league and the work that they're doing. They show a lot of passion, commitment, and care for the overall ecosystem and what the future of the NBL looks like.
A large number of the clubs are successful, profitable, budgeting for profits, growing.
Have a look. If you go around the city, along where people live, nearly everybody have this rink for children. They love, if you ask somebody which sport is your favorite, they told basketball.
If we're growing the fans, we're growing that cohort of families and kids and fandom, then I'm happy. And not everything is perfect, right? We still have a lot of work to do, right? We have work to do with clubs, we have work to do, in our own business. But you do stop for a second and go, from where we've come from, 10 years ago with the league, 15 years ago with the club, to where we are now, we have to stop and celebrate.
I'm very happy to see Larry doing what we dream of. It was our dream that he will be very good in sport, but not a sportsman, but like a businessman.
Amazing. Thanks.
All good?
All great.
That's finished?
Terrific. Yes. All
Thank
good.
you. I have to take all this thing.
No, I think they just want to do the only one.